Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a brand new pickups video. I got some good stuff to share with you guys today. It's going to be mostly Xbox 360 stuff, as my main focus this year is to finish off my Xbox 360 set by the end of July, because at that point Microsoft is shutting down the marketplace, and I expect a lot of Xbox 360 titles to skyrocket in price. So I wanted to get those now, as prices actually have been going up locally. Just talking to my buddy who works at the game store by my house, he just said that they've been selling a lot of 360 games, and they've been actually repricing games that have been going up in value. So that's why I want to get these now before some of them become unobtainable as far as price wise go. And I was also able to get some great trade credit because I took 2 boxes out of that 1,000 games I had. I took mostly just junky sports games and kids titles, and it's crazy what some of those traded in for. Like some of these Pro Evolution Soccer games or something, or I got some pretty good trade, like $5 and $10 and $12 trade in for some of them, because I guess they sell for like $40 or whatever, which is stupid. They're sports games, but I guess somebody wants them. And then some of those like Nickelodeons and Rugrats and those kind of games have pretty good trade value nowadays. So I was able to get a couple $100 from that, and I used the last of my birthday money I had and used that money to buy a big stack of 360 games. I got some strategy guides as well. I also got a couple things from Gamefly because I love getting stuff from them. I also went to a Half Price Books and got a couple items there, and I went on eBay to find some other 360 games that I could just not find locally, or I found them cheaper on eBay than they were at my local game store. So we'll start off with the stuff from Half Price Books. Now, I know not everyone's a huge fan of Half Price Books. They can be kind of wacky with their pricing, but I've been going to them for a long time, for like at least 15 years or so, and if you look hard enough and you know your values, just pass on stuff that's too much. You can still find good deals, especially on strategy guides. But I was digging through their 360 games, and I found one that was actually recommended to me by a buddy who has it, and he said it's a pretty cool game, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. It was only $9, and that was Deadliest Warrior Ancient Combat. So you get to take different warriors from different time periods, and it's in a 3D fighting game. It's pretty neat. And so it says the definitive Deadliest Warrior collection includes 2 full fighting games, Deadliest Warrior the game and Deadliest Warrior Legends, and all the DLC and brand new exclusives. Fight as 22 different warriors, including the Ninja, Pirate, Samurai, Shaolin Monk, Joan of Arc, Vlad the Impaler, Alexander the Great, William Wallace, Shaka Zulu, and more, and master over 150 weapons, including 30 exclusive ancient combat. Battle in exciting arenas with interactive environments and an exclusive new graveyard stage. Just pretty cool. And it also talks about, watch the warriors in action. Ancient Combat includes 6 full episodes from the hit TV show Deadliest Warrior, including some never before released. So there's also a bonus DVD in here too, where you can watch the TV show, because I remember watching that Deadliest Warrior program, and it was pretty cool. So it's neat that it comes with that item. So if you are looking for this copy, make sure it has that game, or has that DVD bonus disc with it, because it's supposed to come with it. And then you got the great manual there, and then you got the game disc. And I look forward to checking out, because it does look cool. I checked out some gameplay online. It looked fun, so definitely I'm always looking for recommendations for games. So if there's any 360 games you think I might enjoy, and if I don't have them already, I'll definitely add it to the list. So that was cool to get. And then I also got a strategy guide there. They had a whole bunch. They had like 100 of them there, but literally it was all guides that I already had. But I found one I did not have, and I actually found the game. You guys will see this in a moment, but this is for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, but this is the Game of the Year edition strategy guide, which adds in the DLC Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine downloadable content in this one, because I always, for years, since I had this game since launch, but I only ever had the regular strategy guide. This one is the Game of the Year edition strategy guide, and it was only $12.49, so really happy to have that. I got 2 games from Gamefly, and these are ones that I rented and kept. They're just Xbox One titles, and they were pretty cheap. First one up here was, I think it was like $11 or something. It's Thymacia. It's basically kind of a game, kind of like a Dark Souls type of game. Heard really good things about this from a few buddies who are fans of the Souls series like myself, and I like playing these AA Souls type games, and so I was really happy to add that to the collection. And then I also got a game called Scars Above for the Xbox One and Series X. A pretty cool little action-adventure title that a buddy recommended to me as well. And I got that for $15, so really happy to add a couple more Xbox titles to the collection. And now we'll move on to stuff from eBay. I got one strategy guide, and I'm really glad that I got it, as this was really helpful when I was playing the game. That was Spec Ops: The Line, the strategy guide. It's in really, really good condition. Like, it doesn't even look like it's ever been read. It looks new. And that was only $10 shipped, so really happy to have that in the collection. And now we'll go over the 360 titles I found. Now this one I'm actually surprised I did not have it in my collection. I always thought I did, but it was actually the other version, like, I can't even think of the name of it. This is Dead Rising 2 I got for $8. But I had the Dead Rising 2, I can't remember the one, but it has Frank West in it, so you get to play as him, but I didn't have the original version, Dead Rising 2, so I had to get that in the collection, and for it's only $8, and it is complete. Locally they had this, but they all wanted $10 to $20 for a copy, so I'm like, oh, let me check on eBay. Oh, if someone's got it for $8, I'll get it there where it's cheaper, so glad to have that. I have not played this one in years, so I would like to replay it again. It was an awesome story. Next up here we got MotoGP 09 and 10, which I wanted to complete my MotoGP series because I'd only had 7, 6, and 7, but I wanted to get all the other ones. I did pick up 15 a couple months ago, so I'm happy I got that. And this one is also complete as well, so really awesome. And I know there's some free DLC for this, so I need to go online and make sure it's still active. Hopefully it is. If it is, I'm going to make sure I download those extra bikes and tracks. But I love the MotoGP series that started on the original Xbox. It was also on PC as well, so really happy to get that. And this one was $10. Next up, this is a title that I had rented years ago and beat, and I always meant to pick up a copy, and I just never did. So I wanted to get a copy here, and I found it on eBay for $11, and this was it's supposed to come with an exclusive suit from Walmart. It was supposed to come on a code, but I'm pretty sure that the code was probably redeemed anyways, but pretty cool. Just glad to have Iron Man 2. I need to get Iron Man 1, but these Iron Man games were really fun. So if you're a fan of Iron Man, highly recommend these. They're really, really fun to play. They have great stories, good music, and they're really fun. So really glad to get that, and that one was $11. So that was a good deal. Next up, here's another title that I had rented and played back in the day, and I wanted to finally add this to my collection. And my local game stores all want $20, but I found a copy on eBay for $15, and that was Sonic Generations, which is also playable in 3D. So you get to play as the old 2D classic Sonic from like the Genesis days, and then you also get to play the modern 3D Sonic from the Dreamcast days and beyond there, and those two play together, and so there's a mixture of 2D and 3D stages. It's just really awesome game, and really glad to have this. I had a lot of fun with it back in the day and beat it, but I needed to add it to my collection, and I was really happy to get it for only $15. Next up, I'm trying to get any of these games that I love that have the DLC on discs, because that DLC is going to be delisted, and this was Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition with the cool slipcover, but they also found this exclusive GameStop version of it that came with some cool extra little bonus posters that the regular version didn't come with. It is Platinum Hits, which doesn't bother me. I know some people hate Platinum Hits. I don't care. I just want the game. And sometimes these Platinum Hits versions of games actually have all the updates on the disc, because these were made after the game was released. So sometimes it actually pays, and it's better to get the Platinum Hits version of a game. Now, it's not supposed to have a slipcover, but the seller included the slipcover, which is fine with me because it opens up like that. And I love these slipcovers, so really happy to have that in the collection. This has all the DLC for Fallout 3, Operation Anchorage, The Pit, Broken Steel, Point Lookout, and Mothership Zeta. So now I have all the DLC backed up, even though I own it digitally. This way, if for some reason I can't get it, I can always put this disc in there and install it into my system. So I love these physical versions that come with the DLC. They're definitely going to be sought after once that marketplace goes down, because this will be one of the only ways you can get that DLC. So really happy with that. And it was $15 for that. What a deal there. And now I got myself a couple of 007 games because I wanted to get all of them for the 360, and I wish I would have got them sooner when they were cheaper, but they just keep going up. In my local stores, they're 25, 30, 40, 50 bucks sometimes, so I went on eBay and found them a little bit cheaper. First up, I got for $18, I got 007 Legends, which is one of the ones I was missing for my collection, and it is complete with the manual. really happy. Can't wait to play that. I did rent it a little bit, never beat it, but loved it, so I'm glad to have that. And then this one was the most expensive one for eBay. It was 25 bucks. My local store had it for 40, and I was sure as hell wasn't paying that. And that was GoldenEye Reloaded 007. So really awesome and complete. So very happy to add those to the collection. And that was all the stuff I got from eBay. Now we'll go to all the things I got from my local game store. Got another plushie, and it is a Donkey Kong plush, and it actually had a sticker on there that says he was from Dave & Buster's. Now, what was weird, they had two of these exact Donkey Kongs in the same condition. One was $12 and one was $5, and the lady working there said, I don't know why they're different price, but she's like, do you want the $5 one? I'm like, yeah. So now I got myself another Donkey Kong plush, which is pretty cool, and it was only $5, so that was awesome. I got one Xbox One title there, and this is one I've been looking for a while, but I've always been waiting for a price jump. They always want like $30 or more at my local game stores. This time they only wanted $12 for it, and it was Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered version, which I loved this game on the 360, but I wanted to get this Xbox One version, so very happy to get it. Awesome game. If you've never played it, I highly recommend. This game's awesome. Whether you play the 360 version, it is backwards compatible on the Series X, or you play this remastered version, definitely recommend this game and the series. Red Faction games are amazing, and this one is really awesome. It's third person. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but there's all these destructible environments. You can go around and destroy buildings and vehicles that take over and fight people. It's just a really fun game, and it takes place on Mars. Definitely recommend that one. Got some strategy guides. I wasn't really actively hunting strategy guides, but I always look in the section, and the dude that works there, I haven't been to this store in a while, he still remembers me because he kind of floats around the different locations, and he's like, hey dude, I know you like strategy guides. I just got a whole bunch in, and I marked a whole bunch of them down onto down to $5 a piece. So there's a whole bunch of those that I got because he said they just haven't been selling well, so he wanted to get rid of them, and they're all like new condition. But first one I got here was $20, and I still have to buy this game, but this strategy guide I definitely see going up in value in the future. For $20 I got The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the complete official guide. A huge thick manual, so it's rare, these days for us to get strategy guides, and I know GameStop and a few other retailers were selling these for $25, so I do eventually want to play this game, so this strategy guide will be very helpful for me to working on 100%ing and the collectibles and stuff, so really glad to get that. Next up here is a game that I would love to finish playing and beating, and I didn't even know they had a strategy guide until I saw it. There was $8, and that is for the game Infamous, which is awesome. And it even has the map in there, and you guys can see just the quality. Like, these strategy guides don't look like they've ever been used before. They look brand new, which is amazing, so I got that. For $5 I got Onimusha Warlords, the official strategy guide, which I've beaten this game a few different times, but I've never got all the secrets. It is missing the poster in this one. It's unfortunate, but for $5, glad to have that, as I love the Onimusha games, and this was one of those few strategy guides for the Onimusha series I was missing, so I got that. Another one here for $5. Amazing game. Glad to have the strategy guide for it now. Transformers War for Cybertron. Really awesome. And another one, like brand new, never been used. So awesome. Glad to have that one for $5. Another one here, which I thought I had, but I did not, so that's why I added it to the collection for $5, was Samurai Warriors. Love this series. So there are a few games in the Warrior series that actually have strategy guides for them. Another one, brand new condition. Glad to get that. Another one here, Justice League Heroes. This game's awesome. Another $5 strategy guide, also in brand new condition. This game is basically the DC version of like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but with Batman and Superman and Aquaman and all them. Really fun game for the original Xbox. Definitely recommend. And I actually started playing this last year, and I do want to finish it this year. This has all the tips, tricks, and secrets, so that was a great find for $5. Another one I was missing from the collection, it was Siphon Filter 3 here, was $5, also in like brand new condition, like it's never been used. That was a good find. This strategy guide here, I actually have this game, and this strategy guide I looked online is pretty rare and looks like it's valued around $100 to $150. They had it for $10, and that was Leisure Suit Larry, Magna Cum Laude. And it's for the PC, PS2, and original Xbox. It was only $10. I just didn't have it for the collection, so I added it. And then when I always usually will double check prices on strategy guides. I mean, when they're $5, I don't care about checking the price. But when they're like 10, 15, or 20, I'll check on eBay just to see if they're a little cheaper on there, or if they go up for like worth a lot. And this one is definitely pretty pricey because of the controversy with this game, that a lot of the strategy guides didn't sell, and so it is pretty uncommon. And really glad I got that for $10. And it just warns you that this is not appropriate game for kids because there are topless women and stuff in it. So cool to add that. Next up, we got Dynasty Warriors 2 strategy guide for $5. In excellent condition too. Looks like it's never ever been used as well. Awesome find there. Next up, I've got Transformers, and this was for Transformers for the PS2, and this was before the Transformers movies came out. So it was a game just based off of like the show and stuff, which is really cool. And I didn't know they even had a strategy guide for it, so I picked that up. Next up for $5, I got Superman Returns, the official strategy guide, which I love this game on the Xbox 360. The best Superman game I ever played. It's an open world game, so if you play games, kind of like the Spider-Man games, also has the nice cool poster in there. It plays like that. Really awesome, has all the secrets and stuff as well. I did beat the game, but I'd like to go back and replay because it has been so long since I played it, and I never did 100% get everything in it, so this strategy guide will be helpful. And the final strategy guide was a copy of Dynasty Warriors 5 for $5, which is another awesome one. It's crazy, there's only a few Dynasty Warriors strategy guides. Like, I don't think 3 got one or 4 got one, at least not in America. So really glad that I got that one. So that's all the strategy guides. Like I said, I wasn't really actively hunting for them, but anytime I can, I look for them if I'm able to. So let me get the games over here. And then there is one big purchase. Ah, there it is. Move it over here. Another thing I wasn't actively looking for, but I found. We'll end the video with that. So here's my big stack of 360 titles. So first up, for $3, I got a copy of Thief, which is a pretty cool game. It is complete because these ones did not come with manuals. So some 360 games towards the end of the console's life cycle stopped including manuals. So we got that for $3. For $4, I got Battlefield Hardline, which is also complete, and it's on 2 different discs. So that was neat. Double pack here for $5. It came with BioShock and Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, winner of over 80 awards, Game of the Year awards combined. So that's pretty neat. And it does come with 2 manuals and both discs in there. So I always like these little compilation discs, and they just give you backups of Oblivion, because my Oblivion disc for my original copy is actually kind of scratched up right now, so that's kind of neat to have that. This is a cool find for $5. They have this Ultimate Action triple pack. You get Just Cause 2, Sleeping Dogs, and Tomb Raider. So a pretty cool collection there. Now these do not come with manuals, they never did, but it has all 3 discs in there, so that's an awesome collection. And for $5, hell of a deal there. Next up, we got a copy here of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier for $5, which I had rented this, but I never added to my collection, so I'm glad I finally have this now in my set, and it was only $5. Really cheap game, and it is complete with a manual and all the other little extras in there, so that was cool. For $8, finally have this in my collection, Star Ocean: The Last Hope, a cool little RPG, really cheap one for the 360. It is complete with all 3 discs and the manual. So really happy. Just never got around to picking up a copy of this in the past, so I'm glad to finally have that in the collection. Next up, we got Tales of Vesperia. This was only on Xbox 360 title. I had heard that this recently got remastered for modern consoles, but I wanted to have the original version, as I did like this game, rented it, but because it's an RPG, obviously, I wasn't going to rent it for a month or something. I just never got around to picking up a copy, but for $8, glad to have that now. Another one here is the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens. I did want to get all the Lego games on the 360, and I think this was the only one I was missing, and that was $8. So I got that, and it is complete with the manual. Next up, for $8, I got a copy of Far Cry 3, which I did not have a copy of this. I have owned it digitally, but I wanted to get a physical copy because you guys know I love my physical stuff. So finally got a copy of Far Cry 3, so that's awesome. Complete with the manual too. Another one here for $10 that was recommended to me by my buddy Dean and a few others. And this is one that I rented with my brother, and we had a lot of fun with it. Glad to have it now, and that was The Club. For a while, this one was going up in price here is usually, I was finding it for a lot of $20 and $30 price tag, but recently it's gone down to $10, so I jumped on that, and it is complete with the manual, so that was great. To finish off my Need for Speed collection, I think I need one more title, but I needed this one. There was Need for Speed Shift, the first one. I had the second Shift game, but I did not have the first one, so I was glad to get that. I always thought I had this one, checked my list, and like, oh no, I don't, so I better get a copy. And it is complete. That one was $10. This is another one that I loved back in the day. I rented it and beat it, even beat it on Veteran, but I didn't have it in my collection, and I meant to pick it up, and I wanted to get it before these go up in value, because the Call of Duty games, this is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, these have been going up in price lately for the 360 in my local area, so I got that for $10, and it was complete with the manual. They actually had like 10 copies of this, all priced at $10, but I looked for which one was in the best condition. Most of them were missing the manual for some reason, so I got the one that did, so we got that. Another one for $10, I had this Ultimate Stealth Triple Pack. You get Thief, Hitman Absolution, and Deus Ex Human Revolution. So another triple pack. Pretty neat. And again, if you're looking for this, they do not come with manuals, because this one, the manual is printed on the back of the cover art, but you do have 3 separate discs, and it does say it's part of the Ultimate Stealth Triple Packs. If you're looking for this for your collection, make sure it doesn't have the regular version of the game's discs. What's awesome about this is these discs contain the updates and all that stuff on them with the patches and fixes, which is a great reason to have this, and that was only $10, so that's an awesome deal. Got another triple pack here, was $10. The triple pack, you get Trials HD, Limbo, and Splosion Man. So 3 Xbox Live Arcade titles. These are all going to be gone forever once the marketplace is delisted. The only way to get it is to buy this disc version that has it on it, or you'll have to download it before the marketplace closes down. So really happy to have that in the collection. Next up for $10, I got Zone of the Enders, the HD collection. It includes a demo of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So I heard really good things about this series from a buddy. Glad to have it in the collection, and it's got both discs in there in really good condition as well. So I'm really happy to have that now. Next up, now this is a game a lot of people hated, but I know my buddy Dean enjoyed it and I loved it. I actually beat it, but I never got a copy, and I'm glad I finally got one, and that was Terminator Salvation. A lot of people hated the movie. I enjoyed the movie for what it was, and I enjoyed this game. It was really fun. You actually get to play as control a Terminator in this during the storyline, which is pretty sweet. Really had fun with it. It's a great game, complete with the manual. Definitely recommend you give it a try. $10, man, I'm glad to have that. Here's another one I was missing in my Lego games, was Lego The Hobbit, which I loved the Hobbit movies. They weren't as good as the Lord of the Rings, but they still were really fun, and this game takes based off of the Hobbit movie, and it was $12, and it is complete with the manual as well. So I think now I should have all the Lego games for 360, which there's quite a few of those. Next up, this is one that I actually played on launch day. I rented this from Blockbuster, and I had it for a couple weeks as I loved it so much. I eventually beat this game on veteran difficulty and stuff, and that was the original Call of Duty 2, which I loved Call of Duty 2. So awesome at the time. Just amazing with the smoke, the graphics of throwing smoke out there, and it just looks so awesome. Love this story. Definitely would like to go through and play it again, because I only play Call of Duty for the campaign. I don't play the multiplayer anymore. I used to play it back in the day, but I just get these for the story. So glad to have that, because I wanted to get all the Call of Duty games that were on 360 and finish off that set. Next up for $12, I got a copy here of Bayonetta. Remember, this game was pretty neat. I also have the sequel, I think it's on the Wii U, so I wanted to go back and get the 360 one. This is another one I rented back in the day from Family Video, but I never actually picked up a copy, so glad to finally have that. It was also complete, so there's that one. Next up here is another one in the MotoGP series, MotoGP 14, and that was $15. Really happy to have that. And it is complete as well, so that's awesome. I think this is this was the last one they released on 360. I think after this they started releasing them on the Xbox One, so I'll have to look into getting those next. Next up here we have a 2K Essentials collection. It has BioShock, Borderlands, and XCOM Enemy Unknown for $15. So that was kind of cool. This one actually does come with a manual, so if you're looking for it, it does have a little manual that's specific to this one that shows the 3 games, and then it also has the discs as well, which these discs do contain the updates and patches and stuff on them. So another cool collection there. This one is a game that I absolutely love, and I had been waiting for the price to drop on this because it's also kind of hard to find here locally. I rented it a couple times for family video and I actually beat it, but I'd love to play it again. And that is a game called The Saboteur. This is from Pandemic Studios, the ones behind the Mercenary games. 15 bucks. Really good condition. I definitely wanted to get this one before it goes up any more in value again, and it is complete. This is an awesome game. So it takes place where you fight the Germans. It's in like black and white, but when you liberate an area, it actually turns the game into color, and you can get disguises and stuff, and you do sabotages, and there's a whole main story missions to do and side stuff. It was a really fun game, so glad to finally have the Saboteur in my collection. Next up, I got the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, but this is the Game of the Year edition, which has the extra DLC, Knights of the Nine and the Shivering Isles, which I got that strategy guide for, so I knew I needed to get the game to have the extra DLC. So it's got the manual, it's got both discs, so really awesome. So if you're looking to play these games and you never played them before, get these Game of the Year editions of the Fallouts or the Elder Scroll games, because it gives you all the DLC on the disc, and so when it gets delisted, you can always put that disc in your console and put them on there. So glad to have that. Next up, for $15, I finally got a copy here of Quake 4, but my buddy Dean told me there was actually two versions of this Quake 4. There's a version that just has Quake 4, but there was this version that also had a version of Quake 2 in it, the bonus disc. And so I was looking forever for this one. Like, I kept running into Quake 4 and it was always missing the disc, or I found versions didn't come with it. So Dean, thank you so much for letting me know about this. I finally have Quake 4 that has the Quake 2 on there, so that is great find. 15 bucks, awesome. Next up, this is another one I've been looking for quite a while, and every time I run into a copy, it's always jacked up or it's missing the manual. I finally found one that had the manual, but I had to pay a little bit more for it. That was $18, was Wanted Weapons of Fate. Finally got the 360 version. This game is awesome, based off the movie, complete with the manual. Can't wait to play and beat this one again. That was great. This next one here is one that's been recommended to me by my buddy Dean. A couple other people have told me about this game, that it's really fun. It's like Mario Kart mixed with real life racing. It was one of the racing titles I needed to complete my set for the 360, and that was the game called Blur, which this looks really awesome, and I would love to check it. I've been watching some gameplays of it. There's power-ups and racing. It just looks really awesome because I love Mario Kart. I love real cars, so mixing the two is awesome. And it was complete with the manual. And what's in the back? Looks like just a GameStop exclusive Blur token code, which has probably been redeemed, I'm sure. But pretty neat to get that for $20. Then here's another 007 game I needed to finish off the last one. I have all 007 games now for 360. This is Bloodstone 007 for 20 bucks, and it was cheaper at the local game stores. On eBay, people wanted 25 to 30 bucks, so I go wherever I can get the best deal, and the local game store was the choice. And it came complete with the manual, so can't wait to dive into all these 007 games. I've heard nothing but good things about all of them. Can't wait to check it out. And the final 360 game I got is one that I've been after for a while now, and it's pretty uncommon. The first one is easy to find, but this second one is not as easy. And this was actually a Walmart version. I didn't even know till I opened it up at the store. It's called Battle Stations Pacific. It was 25 bucks, so the most expensive game from them. But it does come with the manual and this really cool ships and planes poster. So it has the big poster in there and has the game. So really happy. Online, this goes for like 30 or more. So 25 bucks was a good deal, and I finally have that. It's pretty cool. You get to control ships and submarines and planes, and you fight in World War II. But you get the Pacific campaign to fight in the Japanese and stuff. You can also play as the Japanese in an alternate history campaign, I heard, and it just I thought that'd be pretty cool to play that, so it was really awesome there. So you guys can see I added a whole bunch of Xbox 360 titles to my collection. There's only a handful more that I want for my collection. I've got some more games that I want to sell off and use that money to get the last of the stuff I need. Now, this final thing here I picked up is a collector's edition, and it's one that I've wanted for a long time. I know my buddy Dean has it, and he has it on display, and I thought that was cool, and he told me when it came in, but my local game stores have always wanted 100 or 200 for this collector's edition. They only wanted 50 for it, so I had to jump on it, and that was Doom, the collector's edition, which comes with that cool Doom statue. Also, I didn't realize that this is the GameStop version of this collector's edition, which comes with 9 demon cards, and they actually were in there and included. And the box is a little beat up, so I had to do a little taping up there, and the back was a little ripped up, so that's why they lowered the price, because this was at 80 and they lowered it down to 50, and it said condition was the reason, but it was complete. Now what's interesting is they had 2 more of these, but they were PlayStation 4 versions. One was 60, but it was missing the game and the cards, and then they had another one for $75 that had the game, but it was missing the 9 trading cards in there. So I went with the $50 Xbox version, and it's got that cool, it's got a steel book, but it's got that cool demon statue, and there's like a fan that lights up and it's red, and it looks really cool, especially at nighttime. And I did test it, it does work. So I've always wanted this collector's edition in my set ever since I saw that Dean had it, and it looked awesome, and I love Doom, he loves Doom, and I knew that if I was just patient, I would eventually find it. So, you know, just because something's expensive now, you know, just wait a little while. Like, I waited here a few years, and I eventually found it here for $50. So really happy to have that in the collection. So there you guys go. There's all my pickups. Just trying to knock out the last of these 360 titles before they get up there. You know, I got so many of them for really cheap. The 360 is still really cheap console to collect for in general. There are some titles that are in that $1 and $2 and $300 and $400, $500 range, but it's pretty rare. Most of them are reasonable in that like $10 to like $20 or $30 sweet spot. But who knows what the prices are going to be like, though, after July of this year. Once that marketplace shuts down, I just see a lot of 360 titles jacking up in price, especially the ones that come with the DLC on discs, as those will become very sought after, as that's the only way you're going to get the DLC. Now, there's going to be people, obviously, on their own websites that are backing stuff up, and you can download them through the internet that way. But if you want to get them from Microsoft themselves or through the marketplace and stuff, you only have until the end of July. So if there's any DLC you want, I recommend you go on there and buy it. I only have a few things I want to get left, so I'm going to make sure this year before July to take time to search through my games and make sure I have all the DLC that I want for the console, and then make sure I back up all my save files and all that kind of stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, let me know what you guys have been picking up lately. I love checking out your guys' stuff. You guys have a pickups video as well, let me know. I'd love to check it out. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see you next time.